Hello, my audience on Dominus Nisi on 88.9 FM. I'm so excited to introduce two wonderful guests here. If you were here with me in the last half an hour, you must have heard about these wonderful souls. The reason why they are here is to share their story, why these two people, especially two girls, I would say, coming together with different ideas from heart and then making impact not to just themselves but the people who connected to them. Let me introduce these wonderful girls to my show and my studio. Wonderful Shwetha and Audrey. Welcome to my show.
Thank you so much for having
Yeah, so I just want to give a small intro about you before the this hour, and I was telling them if you are really down and if you do not know what to do with their life, these are the motivational people giving their own life story and then finding out how you are inspiring other people, including myself. So I'm so grateful that
me.
I actually saw you both and then getting inspiration in many different ways. So let me start with Audrey first, and then I'll come back to you, Shweta. Audrey, what is the real motivation behind your life? And then where are you now in that motivational level?
Wow, that's a great question. It makes me dig deep because my motivation, it's a defining moment I have. It's extremely, uh, my mom went through almost 10 years of cancer and relapse. Oh my God, I'm a little bit nervous. Um,
It's a story that touching your
Yes,
heart. I
it is.
really
It
relate to
is.
that. Yeah.
It was during the time of Easter. This was happening. She was going through stem cell transplant. She had been through cancer and relapse, and a lot of things in between. Been on ventilator a few times, and this particular thing, she didn't want to go for the treatment again. And we had really, we wanted her to because the
Mm.
doctors were sure they could cure her. And during this treatment, I remember sitting in this hospital bed next to her on a Easter afternoon when everyone else was in the church celebrating Easter, and just both of us, she was with her IV drip, and me looking out of the window and just looking at this different buildings and the windows there, and I could see some figures walking around. And I don't know what was going on in their lives, but I just stared at them and I'm like, are they aware how grateful their lives are, how wonderful their lives are, that they are not with their loved ones in the hospital.
Mm.
And that moment, I made a conscious decision that going forward from here, I will always be very, very grateful. And I want more people to recognize that what you have in the now,
Mm.
as long as you are not with your loved one fighting for life and death, is a very grateful moment. There is so much to be grateful for
Yeah.
in every single thing, even being able to walk and do things for yourself. There's so much to be grateful. And that's my defining moment, which I carry forward every single day. Whenever there is a challenge, something hits me, I'm like, as long as my loved ones are fine, I can
Yeah.
do this.
Okay. I was like just going through my life. My dad passed away on a Easter Sunday, so I can relate to that. But because I went to India for being with him for the surgery. I came back here on Good Monday Thursday. My dad was having sepsis and passing on Easter Sunday, so I can really relate to that, Audrey. I'm hearing that incident from you first time, even though we had many conversations on different things. So I can see why you are always smiling, why you are always making people happy because you felt that pain being there,
Yes.
and then that gratitude is that like I would say that action it will come automatically when you experience the worst thing in your
It is
life. Yeah,
it's like the lowest point. Like you really are like, wow, I
yeah.
wish I valued my life like this from the beginning,
Yeah.
but I get an opportunity to do that from this moment onwards.
It's great.
So, yeah.
Going to Dr. Shweta. So I didn't really introduce you guys. Who are they? Where are they from? But like, I always believe that some spirit is leading to different questions for a specific reason. So I'm going to Dr. Shweta and same question. Your spirit is like it's contagious. When you talk as an MC or a facilitator, your smile never fade, and then you connect with everybody with that great, awesome, positive energy. What is the reason behind it?
Well, I can definitely say that it wasn't something that I was born with. But there are instances and incidences in your lives which absolutely change everything that you
Mm,
were and gives you a wake-up call
yeah.
and shakes and changes your entire life moving forward from there. And I'm super grateful for what's happened in the past, which has
Mm,
led me to where I am right now. So
yeah.
if you would ask anyone, including my mom,
Yeah.
and tell them that, oh, your daughter is going to be this person who's going to be on MC, she's going to be on stages, she's going to connect people, they'd all look at you and laugh. Because I was the quietest person
Hmm.
throughout my childhood.
Ah,
The
okay.
one thing that I did, and I probably did really well, is observation.
Yeah.
And I observed things and I observed everyone around me. And I think
Mm.
that's probably one skill when they say, be an effective listener. And that's
Active
one
listener.
thing
Yeah.
that I've done growing up really well. So
I think that's
listening,
what actually paying you back now.
yeah,
You can really connect with that heart and then talk to their heart, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's circumstances that led to it. So growing up and being sexually abused as a child, it kind of closed me up completely.
Mm.
So when I moved on to my teenage years, I realized I was really angry with myself.
Yeah.
And that anger led to a lot of self talk, which was negative,
Mm.
and that constantly putting myself down,
Yeah.
that I'm not good at anything. Everything that I do is crap.
Mm.
So what I'm speaking to myself is absolute shit. Like, why did I do this? Why do I do that? Why do I not talk? Why don't I open up? When I have things to say, why don't I say it out there
Yeah.
and put it out loud? And I just limited myself in every single way.
Mm. Okay.
And I think going through that entire journey, and from there, I had this beautiful person because I did study to be a dentist.
Hmm.
And during that journey, I met this amazing mentor. And the only thing that she told me is that you're such a beautiful soul because you're constantly looking after other people. When are you going to start looking after yourself?
Mm.
So when she said that, I think that still resonates with me. Obviously I get to meet her whenever I go back to Bangalore, which is great. But when she said that, it's just like, wow, when am I going to look after myself? So that whole journey of a clinical depression for that
Mm.
3 years, I was like, how can I look after myself? Like, I'm not good at anything. Like, how can I look after myself? That got me into the whole spirit. If I can look after other people,
Mm.
I can definitely look after myself.
Mm.
That got into the whole cycle of and learning that, if you want to look after the world, if you want to do good for the world, then you need to come from the space of looking after yourself.
That's why the self-care journey
Yeah.
started. So it's like really inspiring that you got really heart-touched stories or reason behind what you're doing now. But I really wanna find out, and I'm curious to know how these girls started together or why. What's the reason behind it? I was like, telling you before, there is like a saying back in our language that you can connect too many men for any business, but it's too hard to connect two girls together. So,
We
what's the
clearly
secret?
didn't hear that. Maybe if we did, then probably it would have come in the way of us coming together.
Tell me the secret. How this Essor
Okay, I will start and then
came
probably she can
into, yeah.
put her
Okay.
amazing spicy notes
All
in
right.
there.
Let me
However,
hear.
let me give you a little bit of
Yeah.
backstory, so to say.
Yes.
I was an extremely unaware individual.
Okay.
I came from a space of what you see is what you get.
Mm.
And the world was really a space where everything worked well. And like, so because of that experience, my mom passed away, and I was in this zone of just null and void. But also because I was not into personal development journey, I wasn't aware of my values. I didn't know body language. I didn't know how to read people, what they said. I am yet challenged with sarcasm. So,
So you can pass any sarcastic comment.
Okay.
like it's this morning we had a joke with someone. I was just staring, and then she had to tell them she doesn't understand it. And I'm like, oh, it was supposed to be a joke. So that's how after mom passed away, I'm cutting it short because I don't want to beg it. I went through domestic abuse, then I went through bullying at work, and then I was like, okay, I will get my health sorted because everything was a dead end to me.
Yeah.
And I joined this challenge, fitness challenge. By then, because I was always bullied as a kid, I was a big kid, I was
Chubby
chubby kid and all of that. I thought maybe one thing I'll start fixing. And I joined this challenge very close to my house. 9 kilos in 6 weeks. And on day one, the unaware me went to this place, started the class,
Yes.
right? And I could see from the way, like they asked us to go and get these kettlebells. And I could see from the numbers on them and stuff like that, that there was one kettlebell which nobody was going for. This was the first class, and we had 6 weeks ahead. It was very heavy. There was this spidery arms, very confident woman walks in, and she goes for this one kettlebell, which was the heaviest, right?
Heaviest one, yeah.
And we were the last two
Picking
up the kettles. Everyone had gone. So I'm like, wow, you must be very strong.
Ah.
The wise owl, aware. Like she was by then with all the pattern recognition, and then she was very, very much aware by then. So she obviously, it didn't go well with her. So
you both took the same
we
thing.
hit it off with a very wrong foot. After that,
Yeah.
coincidentally, the friend that she had actually paid for and was championing for that weight loss challenge became very close with me.
Okay.
That's why she was forced to talk to me.
talk to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then as universe conspires,
Yeah.
that friend dropped off.
Okay. Yeah.
Now,
Now,
she was stuck because we were the only two motivated individuals in the classes.
That's what you learn when you're on a challenge and
Yeah.
when life throws you a challenge. The people who continue on and don't give up, I think those are the ones that you have to keep
Gel
close to
together.
and really understand. So I learned so much about her without her telling me anything because she continued on the challenge and she was probably the person who went with full energy, full gusto. She did everything that we were supposed to do. She followed everything because she knew that she wanted those results. And that's the quality that I really love about Audrey.
Yeah.
That once she takes on something, she takes full responsibility and she continues to do it. So when you talk about two women coming together or two any human beings coming together, if they're not values aligned and if they do not keep up with the other person, it's very challenging to be together. And to throw another challenge on top of everything, now we've finished the 6-week challenge.
Then what's
We are
next?
still in the sauna, and this wonderful woman tells me, "Oh, I'm actually going on a trip to Europe for 6 weeks," and she was just chilling and telling me this in the sauna. And I say, "Oh, okay, wow, amazing. Who are you going with?" She's like, "Oh, by myself for now. Would you like to join me?" And I said, "Yes."
Ah, 6 weeks together. Okay.
And I really thought, I'm like, oh yeah, like, in the sauna, we don't even really connect with each other because we have been like boxing really hard at each other. Like, who's going to
It
do that,
won't
right?
happen. Yeah.
Next day, I got a call while I'm in a meeting and it's frantic calls, and I had to move out of the meeting room. I was in corporate then. And I walked out. I'm like, what's happening? Like, I'm booking the tickets.
I was at Flight Center.
Like, send me your tickets. I'll book on this. I'm like, what?
Oh.
I was shocked. I'm like, oh, okay. I've never had somebody so, keep
driven.
the word,
Yeah,
like
okay.
keep the promises they make, right? And
Right.
when you do what you say, it's like that alignment, which really connected with me. As I said, I wasn't aware of my values by then. I was still in this zone of, I listen to people, what they say kind of thing.
She was completely based off the energy, and she knew what she wanted to attract because you could see she would move closer to the people who she was happy aligned with,
Yeah.
and then she would generally tend to avoid someone who is probably some a term that she constantly says is an energy
Yeah.
vampire, because we need to, as I always
Yeah.
say, look after yourself first, otherwise you're not able to give.
Yeah, correct. So then your Europe trip, first the challenge,
back,
then Europe
yes.
trip, then
We
how
came
did
back and I
you?
was getting married.
Okay, it was kind of sorry.
I mean,
Okay,
she did with
honeymoon
me.
trip. Okay.
Please do not show this to my husband. He is not going to.
Okay, so then part of the how this Essor started.
Because of all the experiences I was having, I was quite frustrated, and I started a personal development course at the same time, because through the gym was based on mindset, nutrition, and training, and that's what I was like, wow, there is actually science behind it,
Yeah.
and I could actually change my mindset and change my life as a result. And when I did the vision exercise, I did the values exercise, I was suddenly starting to become aware that I was not aligned with the course I was on, and I didn't see a future there. So I was living in South Bank. I had this beautiful wall to ceiling windows, beautiful apartment. I'll do everyday rituals, gratitude. And that's when the opportunity came to actually be a first franchisee of the place we were training. I opted for it.
Yeah, okay.
And it was so big. And I had a vision book which said, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. So I was literally trembling. I kept that quote and that paper, kept the quote, kept the paper, and I signed it. I'm like, if they think I can do it, then I can do it.
Yeah,
No, right?
exactly,
They
yeah.
cannot put their baby
Into
first
a
franchisee into a
yeah.
hands of a person who can't.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll figure it out. It was huge, thinking of owning a whole facility, like it was a huge gym with staff and everything. I applied, and they actually called me for an interview, and they agreed to it.
Okay.
Now, now
Then you
that
had to
was
do
that
something
was
with that.
scary.
Okay.
And that actually I did it on the day I applied, on the day she was getting married, that evening. I
Because
actually
she had
started
nothing better to do
I
after
know,
I got
I
it.
every day, excruciating heels, and I came home, put my AC. I'm like, okay, I'll do my rituals. I'm like, ooh, I should do this, finish this. And I got
You
approved.
got
And I'm
the
like,
owner
wow,
of gym.
what am I going to do though?
Yeah.
And then the weekend I just shared, and she was like, oh yeah, if you need any help and all of that. Then I'm like, am I going to be doing this alone? It will be scary. So we had this brunch on the weekend, and walking in Albert Park, walking back because we didn't want to take tram. Both of us are walking down Albert Park, and I'm like, well, I'm doing this thing. She's like, yeah, I know. Like, would you like to partner? Like, yeah.
So, yeah. It was literally like she was proposing to me at Albert Park. You
It's
know,
like a walk and talk.
what do you think? And I said yes. So I have never stopped saying yes to this
So
woman
the
since then.
partner
It
becoming
was so funny. She didn't even ask her husband. And I'm like, he just got married. Maybe you should ask him. She's like, yeah, let's do it.
Because I know that my partner is such a solid rock that if I tell him something, he's not going to back. He's literally, his question is, you understand you're getting into business, yeah? I'm like, yes. And you're okay with it? I said, yes. Okay, then I'm good.
I now, if I look back at it, it was a huge risk
yeah.
because I had already paid a deposit for a house.
And then the business.
And this business would mean I have to quit my IT job. And that house had not settled because it's off the plan. It had not settled for the last couple of years. So it would settle anytime. And if business didn't make me enough money, my loan would be rejected. I didn't think it through.
Yeah.
There was nobody there to put all these risks in my mind.
Okay, is
So what
that
the
the
heck?
risky mindset? So you like a partnered with him, like a proposal in the Albert Park, but now I'm seeing you as a CEO of a multiple business. So how that journey from Albert Park to now? What was the strategy that you changed or
I was, oh my
modified to come into that CEO lifestyle?
actually was just talking about the same thing this afternoon while driving to here, right? So just this morning or yesterday night, I was browsing through Instagram and there was Brendan Richard talking to Lewis Holmes about him working with billionaires. And he was sharing that I have noticed one thing about the billionaires in the world, one pattern, that they have the confidence to go for things that they still don't know how to do
How
it,
to do it. Yeah.
right? That they just trust themselves and they just go for it.
Yeah.
And I was just sharing that, oh wow, at least there is one thing in common.
That's what you did.
So maybe the other things will fall in place
If
eventually.
you want to be a billionaire, do that. That's number one thing.
I know this happens in my head. Like I look at something, and the first thing is if he can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
So no matter what it is.
Yeah.
And then because I've told myself that I'm going to do it, then I find a way to do it.
Exactly.
And then I also have a mindset that I can do it. And obviously, she's contributed hugely to it because my mom believed in me it like that.
Yeah.
My mom always was so confident about me that I stood out her about me because she used to think you can do it.
Do it.
You can do it better than anyone else. And I'm like, you just think too much about your daughter. Like, oh, you're so full of me. I don't want you around. Like, I get irritated because she was so like, she would always put me up there.
Okay.
And other moms didn't do that. So I didn't like it. Like,
Oh,
don't do that. Other moms don't do that. How can
then
they
why
so
you
humble about their kids? And you're like not so humble about me. It's like kind of arrogant. I still hate it, right? But I never realized that she was actually contributing to building a lot of self-confidence.
Yeah, that's true because
From the core belief. And she does that to me as well. From the start, she always like will say things, I know you can do it. And I like even speaking here is a lot of credit to her because she's like, you can do it.
yeah,
You
of
speak well,
course.
and I'm like, no.
You are our motivation.
Okay, we need to check of all the three people who spoke the most right now.
Yeah.
And you will get the answer.
I'm trying to cut off the
Always
time,
the
but
best.
it's
Yeah. And that's what it is. Like,
Yeah.
the childlike curiosity that an entrepreneur needs, the CEO needs, the person who can have a big vision and dream about it. And
Yeah.
all of these things might seem very tiny or minuscule, but this is what makes you.
Yeah.
And this is what I am consistently learning from Audrey because I think if you do not have a relationship where you're learning, where you're growing, where they're constantly egging you, and sometimes it is like when you're challenging someone, it can be really daunting because you're like, why the hell are you talking this way? What is happening? Like, why are you doing this? You just do it. And but when you take the responsibility, this person is giving me feedback and I really value it and I want to grow as a person. So just keep quiet. Just listen.
Listen.
Go ahead. And do
Okay.
it.
All right. So I want to listen again from your gym journey to the Essor, and then now you've got sales authority and then BGN. You are making noises and waves in the whole world of Melbourne, not even just Melbourne. I can see people connecting from Singapore and back in India. You're doing something great. So tell us about your that business journey because my audience will be thinking like, why I am bringing you here? Because the reason why you're here is that you are normal people like us, our listeners, like, but you do have a heart full of love and compassion, but you're doing many different things. So take us to that wonderful journey of all your businesses. Maybe Shweta, you can start.
Absolutely. Our focus and goal from the time we started was for me and her both. It was that transforming lives because it started from us and we wanted to transform our own lives. So we did everything possible to do it. And we are like, you see the change that you can touch a person by just communicating. And it doesn't even have to be words. So then how can we transform other people's lives and create that ripple effects and really influence the way that they think, the way that they show up, the way that they lead by example. And once you do that, you can change everyone around you and that ripple effect creates that change. So we started with Essor Business Hub and then it's moved on. We're like, oh my God, we have to impact more lives. So doing business consulting, creating an ecosystem, a hub where everyone can come, hang out, but see the results in their personal journey, in their business journey, and then impact their teams and indirectly impact their lives of the people
Different.
in their teams as well, and then beyond, because then that impacts, the people that they work with and their clients. So it's such a big circle
You
from
mentioned
a
that
small
it's
thing.
business hub. I didn't feel that it's a business hub. I feel like it's a place like, I think about like our old type school back in India where you can be yourself
Yes,
and then
Yes.
you will
yes.
become what you want to be. It's more of like
Yeah.
putting that vulnerability out there and then picking the good
Mm,
things out of
mm.
it. That's what I personally felt from the experience that I had. But can you share a little bit about your business? Like, how did you go up? And then I know that every business is not like a glorious victory in the
It's
beginning, but
not.
it's a hardest time and then lots of consistent hard work. And then sometimes it's like a crying a lot behind the scene, but like, putting up good face. Can you share a bit of like your own experience to build that business? Because I know that there are lots of lessons that you learned, and that's why you're helping the business people now to be a better business person. Yeah.
One of the biggest transformative journeys we've had is through the gym fitness
Hmm.
center that we had, because that is shaping our decisions, our actions, our values, our behaviors now.
Hmm.
Because fitness center was about transforming their lives, and everyone came with a story of why they wanted to lose weight.
Hmm.
And it was not about weight.
Yeah.
It was many times relationships. It was sometimes not able to conceive and have a
Hmm.
family. It was sometimes people self-worth
Hmm.
because your partner is abusing you physically, mentally, because of your weight
Yeah.
issues. There are so many different things. And we were so into it,
Hmm.
right? That we were really aligned. Wow, we are not just helping them lose weight, we're changing lives.
Hmm.
And through that, I would say the biggest challenges, there were two huge challenges we had that
Hmm.
really stretched us.
Yeah.
One was my dad got a stroke while he was visiting here,
Uh-huh.
and he got a stroke which impacted his food pipe and windpipe,
Hmm.
and they were not able to diagnose that.
Uh-huh.
As a result, his condition started deteriorating.
Hmm.
And I was told that I can't have him here, otherwise I
Hmm.
have to get him into palliative care or something like that.
Yeah.
So I had to fly with him
Mm.
back.
Back. Okay.
And that flight was flight from hell because it
Mm.
was constant people waiting over him. But after that followed was 3 months of back and forth being on ventilator.
Yeah.
At the same time, Shweta was 7 months pregnant.
Mm.
So when she should be really enjoying her
Resting. Yeah.
maternity journey and really soaking into that being a first mother, she was working from 5 to 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And it really still makes me, and I was in the hospital
Mm.
sleeping in the outside days because I didn't want to go home
Mm.
while dad was being treated,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there was this whole stretch of 3 months where so much uncertainty, but I still remember the one mission changing lives. I sat there and I still attended the meetings and did a little bit of my part, which I could because I wanted to support her the way I could.
Mm.
And that made me aware because there were people from different floors in the hospital who were coming to see me because they had known there is one girl who sits outside waiting for her dad and still working and still spreading laughter. And that was my realization.
Mm.
I remember one lady who brought her husband who had come for dialysis from a different floor because somebody told her that you have to go and see
See
this
this?
girl who waits outside and she's the sunshine. And I was just like, you came here to see.
See me?
It was so weird, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just doing my bits. It was nothing. And and they were like, you have to do something from here. And I was like, well, I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to live. And that realization that when you take up a business, it is not just the money making.
Mm.
You got to have skin in the game for the results of the people.
Yeah.
Just because something happened in your personal life, things can't stop. Because even if you're just doing something like building a website, that's an impact for
Yeah.
them on their business, their
Yeah.
livelihood. Maybe they will not get a client, and maybe they won't feed their kids. You may think it is not such a big deal, but it is.
Yeah.
So that's why when now we are in the business, we don't take anything for granted.
Yeah.
Our life is important, and our client's life depends on the service we provide.
Yeah.
And that's when we work with clients, it's important to communicate that you it's a bigger thing. You align with that, and you put your soul into what you're doing.
And when you say think like a CEO and be a CEO, that is what it is. Like, we're not, of course, we always, everyone asks me, oh, you guys must be having the fun of your life because you're always laughing. You must
Yeah.
have had no sadness in your life. And it's just a smile on my face because we know what we've gone through. And it's not been easy at all. Like, I remember Audrey has been working, even on the day of her dad's funeral, she was working because she knew that we had, clients to serve. There was so much happening and they had to look after themselves. It's like work ethic, absolutely impeccable. And when we say you got to be the example, we have been the example the whole time. So it's very easy for us to put that forward. And when we are creating leaders, like even in our team, even with our clients, it's just a conversation because when you're absolutely authentic,
Yeah,
then
you don't need
you
to.
don't need to.
Because I was telling, before I need you to talk about all different things, but the story that they were talking is from heart. So I don't really want to talk about your Essor Business Hub because it's already there out there in the website. But the reason behind why you're doing that, it's really important. So,
Yes.
and the real reason behind it, the way that you're doing is I can relate why you're doing because sometimes I feel like these girls are always laughing and doing it's really doing something that putting up in the website or not. But I can see from the testimonies from the real people, not from the website, but the people who connected with you. There is a real life-changing incident happen with them along with you. So that's what I can see the difference between all other entrepreneurs or business coaches or whoever in this market, which is like, you can see millions of them out there. So I want to touch a little bit about your new waves that you're doing with that business growth network, which I'm fortunate to be part of it. And that's how
Oh,
we connected. I know that we connected first with that mothers series last year May, but the real connection between us started from there. Can you share what was that vision behind that network and how that started?
so I've been part of networking and networking organizations for literally the last 5 years now. And the one thing that I find is absolutely lacking in any sort of networking space is the feeling of belonging,
Mm.
the feeling of, oh my God, I'm part of this community. I really feel it. And it's not only me, it's my entire family.
Mm.
And it's being vulnerable, as you mentioned before, because that's one thing that I learned from Audrey. The more vulnerable you are, the more open you are, the more openly you ask for help,
Mm.
is when the universe conspires and you actually receive the help.
Yeah.
So how would anyone else know that you're suffering if you're not openly asking?
Mm.
And it's a thing that I'm still consistently on and learning. I'm on the learning journey on, oh my God, I actually should be asking for help. Like sometimes I'm knocking myself.
Yeah.
Why don't you just ask?
Yeah.
So with this, the community that we created, it's
Yeah.
just beautiful how everything comes together because now they're all seeking connection
Yeah.
and collaborating.
Yeah.
And we've been on a massive collaboration journey ourselves. So we usually set a word
Yeah.
as a goal for the year, and it's collaboration for the
That's the
year.
year
And
for this year, 2025. Okay.
believable what you can do when you set an intention.
Yeah.
And it's all in action. So we collaborated
Mhm.
because we were talking about the sales authority and how important it is
Yeah.
for business owners because small business owners are the absolute backbone of the Australian economy. So if you take them out, there is no Australia.
Mm.
And the only way to do that is to support them.
Yeah.
And what they need for business to run is sales.
Yeah, and then you helping people to do that one. So I just want to share with you, if you want to know more about that networking events, I would say it's a Biz Growth Network event that's happening 4 different places,
Yes.
Cranbourne, Bandura, and Chadston, and Williamstown.
Well, to
The
Williamstown.
place to be.
You gotta hang out here because Bismi is
Yeah.
running that. And
Yeah,
she does
myself and
fabulous
Malika
job.
and Joby, we running the Williamstown one. And I am actually like an excited to be part of that because that's where the life really coming and then inspiring many different people and then coming together and then grabbing your energy as well. It's not, if it is a positive energy, if you share, that's actually multiplying. That's what I can see from the network event. But I want to check with you with your newest challenge that you started. I know that you started with a challenge and you're continuing that challenging motivation to next generation of business people. So tell me about that. What's happening with that? The
Okay.
Sales Authority Challenge.
So sales authority, when I think about sales authority, it is about really personal development,
Mm.
right? Because many people have this eakiness about sales.
Mm-hmm.
But when you start really meeting the need of the person and recognizing, knowing how they can match the need,
Mm-hmm.
the sale is just a byproduct.
Okay.
And that's why sales authority is very important because we go through the concepts of sales as to how you can be prepared with the systems that you need,
Mm-hmm.
but also how to have those heartfelt conversations. So we had the round one,
Yes.
and the round two is happening next
Next
week,
week. Yeah.
where we will be adding more elements of, now that we have created that structure, we're going to add more elements of
Mm-hmm.
like bringing awareness to yourself. Because when you become more aware of you,
Mm-hmm.
then you're able to give more.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then you can have more heartfelt conversations.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. Again, I want to share with my audience. I was there in part one, and I would say that's the transformation for me. The mindset of business actually changed, and people will be thinking, last year, October, I decided I don't do anymore in the business world or in the community because I fed up with that. But now if they see me again in the social media, they will be thinking, what happened to Bismi? Because she's changing her words, and you are the reason for that. The challenge is the reason for that. That 5 day challenge really motivated me to share my purpose. My purpose is to spread love, joy, and peace, and that's why you are here. So I'm coming to my last questions. Looking at my time, I have lots to
Yes.
ask, but my last question is like, you are wonderful people spreading love, joy, and peace. I totally believe without filling your cup, you can't really give. What are the top three rules that you're doing in your life to fill your life with love, joy, and peace?
Go for it.
Well, vibrating on the highest level and highest frequency, and that is love.
Yeah.
So I'm learning every single day how to love myself better
Mm-hmm.
and then teaching it to my kids
Yeah.
and then spreading it to everybody, my clients,
Mm-hmm.
beautiful people that we surround ourselves like yourself is me.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely love is top priority.
Yeah.
Other than that, it is about, learning and growth.
Love, learning, and growth. So that's a three element. Very good. How about you, Audrey?
I would say how I bring love to my life, and give it out, because I one of my when I went through the very, very low period, my affirmation was, I am loved in every possible relationship, every possible way. And I'm grateful to say that I have an amazing partner
Mm-hmm.
who, he's just the cutest being. He combines the love of my mom and dad,
Yeah.
and he gives that. I have an amazing business partner who also steps in exactly like in many ways to
Yeah.
support me and love me. And I have all of this growth network and Essor Business Hub. It's just beautiful. I wake up every day extremely grateful.
Mm.
And when you are in that space, miracles happen.
Yes.
So my life is full of love and joy.
Exactly. I do remember when I started my tagline as love, joy, and peace. Some great business owners or speakers mentioned that that's a fluffy tagline. That's not good for business. But I can see from you, like from in real life, that's what you're doing. You're spreading that
Yes.
that magical love to the people, motivating them, and then bringing that magical moments in their life, in their business, and in their community. And I can see different type of people, even though their business skills or their life skills are different. You are doing some magic over there.
Well, I think in the current scenario, which will be very apt, is there's a lot of sadness, there's a
Mm,
lot of bombings, there's a lot of killings happening. And
Mm.
one thing that we always talk about is hurt people hurt people.
mm.
So the only way to fight that is love.
Give them back love.
The
Yeah.
more love we can give, the better the world's going to be.
Exactly. And I know that that's what we're doing with the BIS Growth Network and
It is.
whatever we're doing around the world. So I really want to thank you girls coming from the other side of the city to come share your really personal stories with us, our listeners. It's really grateful because our listeners is really from that Windham area. They do have their stories, but if they hear the wonderful stories like you, it's a motivation for them. It's a real asset for us as a radio station. So thank you so much
So
for
grateful.
joining us.
So grateful to have you here with us as well, Bismi. Thank you for inviting us. And
Thank
well,
you.
it's a community radio station. We are all about community connection and collaboration. So
Exactly.
looking forward to seeing everyone at Bistro Network in Williamstown on the 19th of August.
Wow, that's good. So thank you, my audience on Dominus Nisi. If you want to be part of this wonderful network, yes, you come to Williamstown. That's happening on 19th of August, and we will be there. And that big bunch of people with fun, excitement, and more than that, more of like a tips and tricks and the way how you can run business with heart, with full of love. That's what we spreading through Business Growth Network, BGN. So if you want a part of that, come and join us. And we are so grateful as a host of this show for this wonderful, amazing CEOs of Essor Business Hub and BGN, and many more things that coming up in future. So stay tuned. This is 88.9 FM, your host, Bismi Party, signing off from this wonderful show, sharing, spreading, and always giving you the amount of love, joy, and praise from our heart to your heart. See you later.